Good morning, class. Today, let us come to the third act of the play, The Playboy of the Western World by J.M. Singh. And this is the second day of the action, probably afternoon. Jimmy and Philly return from the wake. They are looking for Peggy and angry that she is with Christy, who is involved in all sorts of games with the people outside. Both of them dislike Christy. And at that moment, old Mahan, that is Christy's father, is seen outside the window. He too comes inside, sits and listens their talk. He tells them that his son had hit him on the skull by a lie. Philly becomes suspicious and inquires about the son who had hit him. But before telling the story, old Mahan demands some beer from them. But Widow Queen comes there and she angrily asks about why didn't he had gone away. The old man says that he has seen the steamer, that is the boat, passing when suddenly he felt thirsty and cancelled going away. She gives him beer and tells Jimmy and Philly that the old man is talking foolishly because of the injury in head. She actually wants to hide the fact that old Mahan is Christy's father and alive, as she has promised Christy in return of some gifts that happens in the second act. Jimmy is convinced, but Philly is suspicious. But old Mahan, after drinking beer, gets emotional and continues his tragic story. And through his story, one gets acquainted with Christy's character. As per that, as a school-going child, Christy was a slow learner who never passed second standard of the school. In fact, he used to return from school beaten up by the teachers. Old Mahan is feeling sad as a 60-year-old man whose son has gone against him, listening to this story. Philly is convinced that the old man is not talking meaninglessly and tells the widow queen to ask him about his son. When she asks the old man whether his son, who was 20-year-old and very good at racing, jumping, and able to defeat others in such games, the old man refuses and repeats that his son is just a fool, a mangy cur, a dog. At this moment, there can be heard much noise from outside, and Widow Queen explains to old Mahan that the people outside are cheering a brave young man who is as if the champion playboy of the Western world, who is then racing, riding a mule. Mahan is slightly puzzled and gets suspicious whether this young man is actually his son. He thinks that he should go below to the race and see the young man, but Widow Queen tries to stop him, saying that he should go to Belmulet, that is another town, away from them. But Philly tells the old man to go and see whether the young man is his own son. All of them watch the mule race below and describe how the young man is champion, playboy, and winner of the race, defeating others. Even old Mahan starts praising and cheering the young man who is actually his son Christy. But as the race is over, people lift Christy and start bringing him up to the beer house. Old Mahan is able to see the face of the young man clearly. He is shocked to see that the brave young champion boy is actually his own son and declares instantly that he will go there and avenge himself by hitting him on the head. But Widow Queen tries to stop him by telling him the fact that he is not his son but a brave man who is going to marry the daughter of that house, that is the ale house or public house. Mahan is still more and more shocked to see that his coward and foolish son is getting married to a decent and rich girl. He thinks that Widow Queen and the girl are mad women for this. However, Widow Queen further confuses him that the playboy is a brave man and he cannot be his his son, since as per his, that is old Mahan's own information, Christie is a fool and coward. Mahan too is confused, gets doubtful about his own sanity. In fact, he gets convinced that he has gone mad and decides to go away from that place. When Widow Queen encourages him to go away, Philly gets suspicious that she is playing some trick in this, and he decides to give dinner and some rest to the old man so as to know whether he is normal or mad. Philly goes outside, but Jimmy says that his friend is a proud as well as foolish man. He decides to go outside to see what happens with Philly and old Mahan. Meanwhile, Christie and Pagin come there with the village girls, all praising Christie for his winning the race and other sports. Pagin tells the crowd to go away and let Christie have some rest, but they offer him prizes, and at that moment the town crier comes there with the announcement of another event, that is tug of war. Pagin again tells crowd to go away, and Widow Queen also goes with them. When all go away, Christie and Pagin are alone inside the house, and they talk as lovers and plan for their future life after marriage. At that moment, Pagin's father, Michael, comes there, drunk and supported by Sean. He scolds Christie for not arranging a proper funeral ceremony and burial for his father as per the Christian traditions, and also talks about Pagin's marriage to Sean Keogh. Since father really had agreed the dispensation, that is the Pope's Catholic Church permission for somebody's marriage, but Pagin very forcefully declares that she will not marry Sean since she has decided to marry Christie. Her father Michael is shocked to know that his daughter wants to marry a man who has murdered his own father. But Pagin says that it is better to marry Christie than to marry a coward like Sean. There starts an argument between Pagin and Sean. She tells Sean to go away and marry some other woman. Christie wants him too to go away. But Michael tells Sean to fight against Christie, but he refuses to do so. He gives him the lie to attack Christie, but Sean is afraid to do so and he runs outside. Both Christie and Pagin request Michael to allow them to marry, and he agrees. Even joins their hands because of Christie's bravery of killing his own father. At that moment, there is some noise outside the house. Old Mahan comes very angrily, followed by the crowd and Widow Queen. He starts beating Christie. He tells Pagin that he is alive, and she is angry towards Christie for lying of his father's murder. Actually, when Christie had hit his father on the head, he misunderstood that the old man is dead. Now, when it's clear that he has not murdered his father, suddenly he loses all the admiration for Pagin and all other people. He loses the admiration from them. She even tells him to go away from her house. Mahan orders Christie to go away with him. The crowd also abuses at him severely. Christie is afraid of his fate and begins requesting all a coward. He refuses to go away, and being a coward also, but they all pull him down upon the floor. Pagin orders all the men to take him away. Sean also tells them to squeeze his neck since he is afraid of him. Christie even threatens them to kill Sean in this scene shows that he is a coward to the last degree. When Christie beats his leg, the men tie his legs and old Mahon asks him the reason as to why did they tie him. Christie answers that they want to take him to the authorities for killing his father. But Mahon declares that he will take his son away from that place, that is Mayo. Christie declares that thereafter he will be the master and his father, old Mahon, has to obey him as a slave. Both father and son go away triumphantly. Michael asks Pegeen for beer and Sean says that he can marry her when his leg injury is healed. But Pegeen hits him and tells him to go away from her sight and laments that she has lost the only playboy of the Western world. In this way, this is a black comedy that makes a satire upon bravery and uses a very serious theme, that is patricide, that means killing one's father, for a comic treatment. So this play had been very controversial during its early performances because of some Christian traditions that feel that this patricide is the worst kind of sin. So this is a summary in simple manner of this play, the Playboy of the Western World, which is in the 3 acts. Okay. After this I will send you, actually I have sent all the notes to you, so go through the notes and which I just read in front of you, and watch the videos so that you will be able to answer the questions which will be in the MCQ format. Now, 2 one act plays remain, that is Chitra by Ravindranath Tagore and Aria de Capo, that is by Saint Vincent Millay. So tomorrow we will talk about Chitra by Ravindranath Tagore. Thank you.